and I want to start off with, sometimes one of the worst things that happened to you is one of the best things that happens to someone else. During the pandemic, my wife and I were sitting on the couch, very popular place for us to be during the pandemic. Tons of TV. Sometimes I wonder if my couch misses me from all that time in 2020. So Morgan comes up to us and says, "Hey guys, I need to tell you something." Not once in the history of I need to tell you something has something been good on the other side. Need to tell me how handsome and funny I am? Not that. Said, "Hey guys, I need to tell you this, but first let me tell you who Morgan is." Morgan saved our family during the pandemic. To call Morgan a babysitter would be an insult to Morgan. She was a caretaker of our 2- and 6-year-old. Did anyone here, raise your hand, try to operate people under the age of 10 during 2020? You guys definitely deserve a round of applause like me, because it was not easy. We were running Little House on the kitchen table prairie for school with my wife and 6-year-old. I would just get up and remove my 2-year-old from the house so everyone could stay sane. So Morgan took care of our family. My wife met her early in the pandemic. She came 3 days a week. She was our sanity savior. So she comes up to us and says, "Hey guys, I need to tell you something." And I knew it wasn't going to be good. She said, "I just graduated from college. I've lived in Philadelphia my whole life. I'd like to explore new things, meet new people, and next month I'm moving to San Diego." And I said, "Oh, that sounds great, but San Diego is closed. You have to stay with us here forever." Now, while I try to be positive, this was truly devastating to us. So what did my wife do? Facebook mom groups, care.com. We were literally asking random people on the street who had other kids, do they know a babysitter, right? Because when you need help, you need help. So my goal today is think of the Morgans like the associates in your life, the people that keep you sane, the people that help you be successful, the people that are truly part of your dental family. And when they move on, for sometimes good reasons, sometimes not so good reasons, you need to find a new Morgan. So how do you find Morgans, hire Morgans, get them ready to help you in your office, and when they move on, what do you do next? So another story here, let me just go over here. My team can help me back there, Nelson. Oh, good. So I was walking on Broad Street in Philadelphia near City Hall. I hear from behind me someone shout out, "Hey, you." So I've lived in Philadelphia for 2 decades. When a random stranger shouts out, "Hey, you," in Philadelphia, you got to be ready for anything. So I turn around and I see this 50-year-old woman with a confused look on her face, and she said, "What is dental nachos?" Because I was wearing a dental nachos t-shirt. And what I hope to do for you is give you one of my best tips in life and dentisting right now. So if you're going to write anything down, write this down. This will help you inside and outside the operatory. So when someone asks you a weird question, a difficult question, a poignant question, an annoying question, this happens to us often as dentists, as leaders, as parents. What do you say? So I looked at this woman with this weird look on her face, and I said, "That's a great question. A lot of people ask me that." Who here in their office gets asked this? "What does my dental insurance cover?" "My sister's dental insurance covers 33 veneers." Well, your sister's a liar. You only have 32 teeth. But you can't say that. Keep that on the inside part of your head. You say, "It's a great question. A lot of people ask about dental insurance. Here's a great tip. Dental insurance works a lot like a coupon that has restrictions, like blackout dates for airline miles. Or when you go for a sale at your favorite store and you want to buy your brand, they say, no, this other brand over here that nobody likes." So we're going to do the best job possible to maximize the benefit of your coupon. So I believe words are a system. That's a great question. A lot of people ask me that. What does your dental insurance cover? Dental insurance works a lot like a coupon that has restrictions. So back to this woman on the street. I got to have an answer. You name your company after an appetizer, you got to expect some questions. That's on me. So I say the way dental nachos works, the way it works is a great phrase. It's like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood for dentists. Dentists are really, really weird because we go to dental school. You guys can put this forward for me if you don't mind. We go to dental school, and they run the dental student Hunger Games. As a D1, you're like, I'm here to learn, meet new people, and hopefully fix teeth. Like, we're going to make you cry quite often. Dental school is like an insecurity boot camp. So my goal with Dental Nachos is to change that, to make dentists and people that work with dentists feel like we can collaborate and not compete. Another great movie during the pandemic we've watched at least 10 times is Raya and the Last Dragon. Who has watched that movie? So if you have not watched that movie, it is for adults too. So what happens in the beginning is there's all these villages. Think of them like DSOs, and they're all fighting over who has the best EBITDA. I have the best EBITDA. You have the best EBITDA. You don't know what EBITDA means. That's true. I really don't, okay? So then Ray is like, we got to get it together. So she spends the whole movie bonding everyone back together in this concept called Kumandra. So I really think it's a great opportunity for dentists to do this. One of my friends even started the Facebook group Kumandra Dentist. Because I believe us dentists and us people that work with dentists, you're plenty weird too. You signed up to work with us. Sometimes I'm like, who's weirder, the dentist or the people who signed up to work with us? So we're all in this wacky dentisting world together. We can make it better. So I'm really here to hope, I'm living my dream doing this, hopefully recognizing and helping you guys live your dream and avoiding nightmares. But speaking of failed dreams, as a child, I wanted to play professional basketball in the NBA. Spoiler alert, that did not work out. Not even close. Now, that is a picture of me shooting a three-point shot. I was very good in high school at that. I made 43 threes in one year in 1994. Not like I remember the exact thing at all. But my favorite player was Dr. J, but the person I wanted to be like was Maurice Cheeks, the point guard. Maurice Cheeks was a star in his own right, but he made everyone around him better through assists. That's his jersey. I wear it sometimes to remember my failed dreams. And what I want to do is to assist you, help you in winning. But what does winning look like? That's different for all of us. So if you're sitting here thinking, what does winning look like in my life? I've been asked to talk about doubling dentisting, doubling dentistry. So this awesome team, of the DEO said, we want you to talk about doubling dentistry. But what does that mean exactly? Let's talk about it together. So raise your hand and keep it up. If you're a dentist, you work with dentists, you've thought about EBITDA today, a lot of people are going to get their hands up for that, or you're married to a dentist, our thoughts are with you, okay? So I want you to keep it up, and I want you to take this hand here, okay? Take your other hand and hit it together in what I call a selfie high five. I take a lot of selfies, so we might as well, I've invented the selfie high five. Because how often you in your office, you do something good, nobody notices, nobody cares. Give yourself a selfie high five. That's what I start to do. We need it. People should care about us. So, in talking about associates and bringing people together, all different generations have different mindsets, and it's normal. I'm a medium-aged 44-year-old. But in doing this, oh, sorry, can you pause it 1 sec? Sorry, it's my fault. Okay, do that. Can we start from the beginning a sec? Sorry, perfect. So I'll tell you, I'll give you a thumbs up. So people say to me, Paul, you know all these dentists. How bad is dental school debt? How bad is it, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to make a video during the pandemic. I only own 2 of these kids. The other 3 are my nieces and nephews. So I will explain how bad dental school debt is through dad push-ups. Now you can play it with the volume.
Go.
Okay, this is a dentist who graduated in the 1990s with debt. Oh, it's manageable. A little tough, but manageable. All right, off 1990s debt. Next, 2000s debt in the purple. Oh, this is my generation. Not easy, but the cost to go to dental school, probably at the high end, $200,000. Okay, off 2010 debt, green sweatshirt. Oh man, dental school pricing has gotten doubled, even though new grads are making the same. Dentist income is stagnant. Okay, 2020 debt. Everybody on here.
Oh.
Next. Good. Good. Drew, can you get on?
Drew, get on the back. Get on the back.
Okay. Hold on, Drew. There's 2021 debt. Oh, that's so tough. Thanks, guys.
So 60 seconds,
awesome,
totally authentic.
Thank you.
I couldn't move them at the end. That's what it feels like to new associates. Now, doing Dental Nachos and having great resources and sponsors, I know there are awesome ways to manage this, but we have to recognize how this feels to new people in the industry. My dental school is 3 times as much 15, 18 years later, nobody knows why. So what I thought was, what skills, actually I want to pause for a second. So I love talking, okay, I was voted most talkative, not a shocker. But I've created a handout for everyone. It's in the app. So anything we don't get to, it's right on the handout. If you want to reach out to me later, say something, that's great. So I've created this checklist for success. I love paper, so it's in the app for you guys to take home with you. I just wanted to say that. So, dental school charges all this money. They must teach new grads how to find a job. I mean, who would charge someone hundreds of thousands of dollars and teach them nothing about how to find a job? So I found the lecture on dental school, and I'll show it to you now. Here's the lecture on how to find a job after dental school. There it is. So in some ways, this is really toxic. And by some ways, I mean all the ways. So I get the opportunity to do high-level implant cases, which is awesome. Anybody who wants a high-level veneer case, I refer out to my awesome friend, Todd Fleischman. Imagine doing a $50,000 case for someone and go, how do I take care of it? Go, you can learn that on the streets. Ask your friends how to use a water pick. That wouldn't be responsible for us. So can we create win-wins, because there's so much emotional energy around what is happening? There's an example of associates who aren't so sure about the job they're being offered. Why are they not so sure? No one has ever told them how a job is supposed to look. Also, many people have not told practice owners how they're supposed to pay. So what if we just created a framework so people would have a deeper understanding? So I'm super honored to have my brother here in the audience to meet Jeff Goodman. He's a partner in my dental practice. Running a dental practice is like running a circus where the animals don't try to eat you, just slowly annoy you to death. So it's very difficult to do that, right? It's pretty much the feeling. The giraffe is complaining, the zebra gets off on July 4th. They always have off on July 4th, right? So I told you about Morgan, my babysitter. So then, during the pandemic, not the best time for me, right? Was it best time for anybody? No, not the best time for anyone. Our dental associate said, hey, guess what? My wife is a neurologist, and she got into her favorite fellowship, the one she wanted, in San Francisco. So I'm moving to San Francisco. So we needed to replace her, and we replaced this associate with the awesome Dr. Alicia that you see there, because that's what the story is in life. The story is the star of everything that we do. So my amazing friend asked for help in onboarding his associate dentist. So when you're awesome, one of your best friends on earth asks for help, you over deliver. So what I am going to do is Dr. Nacho Goodman is to create kind of just a fun podcast on tips for associate dentist. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I want things to get started with are, just going to bring these up on the screen, but I'll also share them so that you can listen in. So you can text RIPE, R-I-P-E, to 215-798-9897 to get clinical help for your associate dentist from our amazing sponsor. Dr. Lincoln Harris and his team have created the basketball gym in your dental office for your associate dentist to practice on lifelike models, quadrant dentistry, class 2s, crown preps, quadrant of crowns, anterior composites, and more. They can go from everything from posterior and anterior fundamental dentistry all the way up to full mouth rehabs. It has been a game changer for dentists looking to up their clinical skills. Text right to 215-798-9897. If you would like help with case acceptance for your associate dentist, I put together a free series of case acceptance skills that you need to succeed as a dentist. You can get it for free by texting CASE to 215-798-9897. If you'd like to reach out to me for any reason, you can do so at paul@dentalnachos.com or text me at 215-798-9897. I'm the founder of Dental Nachos and Dentist Job Connect. Dentist Job Connect is an amazing nacho sponsor. I'm a failed NBA superstar. I was an outstanding restaurant server in my day, and I'm someone here to help you increase success, decrease stress, and reduce crying inside while having more fun along the way in your dentisting life. So let's get into how you can onboard your associate dentist with more success. I like to talk about the power of SIAT, story, impact, actionable tip, story, impact, actionable tip. So it was 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and 70 New Jersey State police officers were staring at me. Who wants to hear the next sentence? The reason why they were staring at me is because they all needed dental exams. Yes, the New Jersey State Police runs their recruits through a full day of checking your teeth, checking your eyes, checking your knees, making sure you are ready for boot camp. But what they found out at the New Jersey State Police is they would often take, let's say, 50 recruits for 50 spots. And prior to boot camp, they'd have 50 recruits. And after boot camp, some would drop out because boot camp was so tough. So they did something that was so fantastic. They created a practice boot camp. They would get everyone approved. They would take more recruits than needed because they knew some, after doing boot camp, would not want to move on and become a New Jersey State police officer. So what can we learn about that as practice owners? What can we learn from New Jersey State Police? And that is, make sure prior to hiring your associate dentist, they spend at least a full day watching you in game, not watching you chatting at a Starbucks about occlusion, not watching you after hours where everything is calm at the office or sitting in your waiting room after hours. An in-game observation day. Not a fan of working interviews. I don't know how you take your trusted patients and say, hey, some dentist that we just met and we are not confident enough to hire, they're going to do your filling working with an assistant that they just met this morning working in an operatory that they've never used. And you might say, oh, but the dentist is a dentist. Well, think for a minute if you're listening. If you walked into your office tomorrow and you normally work in operatory 1 and your assistant said, operatory 1 is out of service and you have to work in operatory 2, how would you react? Let that sink in. Oh, you would freak out because you're working in a different operatory? Well, these dentists are working in a different office on patients they've never met, working with assistants for the first time. So not a fan of working interviews, but a huge fan of observation days. Let these associates see your in-game dentisting thing before they sign up to work in your practice full time. Now, our next thing that we want to go over here, this is the hiring process, are what are the 3 M's that matter most to associate dentists? So people say, what do associate dentists want? I was at the amazing Dental Success Institute and Dr. Ben Keikos, my friends, Peak Dental Resources Day on Associate Dentist. I was honored to be on a panel. I just want to share upfront everything that the Dental Success Network and Dental Success Institute does to me is fantastic. You can get a free pass to the Dental Success Network, an awesome sponsor of our group, by texting DSN to 215-798-9897. So the dentists there were all sitting in the audience, these amazing practice owners from across the US, and they said, Nacho guy, what do associate dentists want? How do we please these associate dentists? Is it unlimited avocado toast? Even though that joke is kind of now out of date, I need something new to share what young dentists or new dentists like. So it is the 3 M's, and those M's are morale, money, and mentorship. And it's a balance between the 3 M's of morale, money, and mentorship. So what you should do is do this crazy thing is ask the associate dentist which M matters most to them and assume that all M's will matter. Because when you were applying for jobs back in your day, for some of you listening, that was 3 years ago. For some of you listening, that was 23 years ago. You cared about the money you were going to make. You cared about the mentorship that was available at the job, and you cared about the morale. And I define morale as what's your feeling before you walk into work? Do you want to walk in? Now, I understand not everybody even wants to go to work. I get it. But let's say you have to go to work, and this could be in a dental office or another job. What's your feeling? Do you want to walk into work or do you not want to walk into work? Do you not like the place you're walking into? Are you worried about the team is going to be toxic or people are going to fight or you're not going to have enough materials? That's morale. So morale, money, and mentorship are the 3 M's that matter most. And some dentists may want the most morale possible, and they're cool with a medium amount of money. So ask the dentist that you're interviewing which M matters most. Say, oh, I totally get that they all matter, but if you had to pick one that mattered most, which one matters most? And just listen, because what they say is going to influence the job that you provide to them. And in my practice, we've had multiple associates. We're never going to have the most amount of money. We just don't where we are. We're an out-of-network office in New Jersey. We have multiple specialists. So our money, it's medium. I like to think our morale is high. I like to think our mentorship is high. Maybe that's the fit for some of you. Maybe that's not the fit for some of you. Just ask. So my goal is to help you fit an associate into your dancing life to maximize happiness. What does FIT mean? Find, inspire, train. Find, inspire, train. Find, start early. As someone who has helped dentists hire associates from back in the olden days of 2005 as an attending at my GPR, too often someone would email me at my Hotmail account or call me up on the phone. We didn't even text back then very often. Say, Paul, I need an associate dentist. You know these dentists at Albert Einstein where you teach? I need an associate dentist to help me with my practice. I have too many patients. I want to work less. I go, oh, cool. Dr. Smith, when do you need this associate to start? Oh, 3 weeks from now. Way too late. Start as early as possible. Always be looking for talent. Use the power of social media and don't be dentist cheap. Use services like Dentist Job Connect. I like to think of us as an affordable and amazing way to find an associate dentist. You may, depending where you are, often use something like Dentist Job Connect, Indeed, and a recruiter. Use as many avenues as possible to find. You ready for it? You ready for it, everybody? You ready for it? You ready for it? You ready for it? You ready for it? Am I annoying you? Probably. Imagine what it's like to be married at me at times. But I like to reinforce important things, and it's not my first rodeo. Never been at a real rodeo. I was close to one once, but never at a real rodeo. But I've done a lot of training and teaching of dentists and people. And when you want to reinforce something, you want to repeat yourself. Even if it's frustrating to the person listening, they will remember it. So the thing that you want to remember in finding, inspiring, and training your associate dentist is you are about to hire one of the most important people in your entire life. Your associate dentist will become one of the most important people. Family, friends, siblings, children, put your associate dentist way up there. I'm not suggesting you're going to love your associate dentist more than your family. But what I'm telling you is that the success of your associate dentist, it's going to affect time with your family. It's going to affect your future. It's going to affect your finances. We talk about hiring an associate dentist to unlock more freedom in your schedule, more free time with your family, fuel the growth of your practice, and best of all, fewer hygiene checks. Those are the F's. So make sure you're starting early, you're not being cheap, you're using the power of social media, and you are paying attention and getting as many good options as possible. How are you inspiring your associate dentist? Does your website reflect your awesomeness? Are you offering an income guarantee? I'm a huge fan of the income guarantee. What's the growth and ownership potential like? And then when it comes to training your associate dentist, what systems do you have in the practice? What CE is offered? What do you do before they see their first patient? If any of you want to connect with me, my fantastic brother has so many onboarding systems. I was a restaurant server at many different restaurants, a truck stop style restaurant, a corporate Mexican place, which is the origin story for the Dental Nacho's name, fine dining in Princeton, New Jersey. And at these places, not once did they say, oh, you've been a server before? Start serving. I had to train. I had to follow around bigger, stronger servers. They wanted to make sure that I could do what they wanted me to do, interact with the customers the way they wanted me to interact with the team. So make sure you create an onboarding and training program, a real one. And if you don't have one, there's so many resources out there. Let me share some of these resources. One of my Nacho sponsors and friends, Paul Etchinson, he has resources on this. The Dental Success Network that we just talked about, they have resources on it. One of my amazing friends, Dr. Jason Tenori, who at the time of this recording has 22 associates, has put together multiple resources on this. So the resources are out there. Take them and make them your own. Customize them to your office, but don't be lazy. Don't avoid conflict. This associate dentist is one of the most important people in your life. And make sure you set them up for success and make sure you do the hard work to show them exactly how you want things done in your practice. It doesn't mean they can't tweak. It doesn't mean that they can't put their own spin on it. But you likely, if you're listening to this, have a certain way you seat the patients. You likely have a certain way of what you say to the patients. Don't expect those associates to live inside of your head. So this special portion, made especially for one of my best friends, but now you all can learn of it, here are some associate onboarding tips, some take-home tips. If you skip through the first part of it, don't skip through this part. So this is when you have the associate dentist that you've hired. If you need my help in hiring the associate dentist, from advertising the job to asking questions, please reach out to me. Text hire to 215-798-9897.
email me at paul@dentalnachos.com. But let's say we have the associate dentist, have an attorney create your contract. Don't print one offline. Honestly, you wouldn't take a treatment plan from one patient and give it to another. Make a customized contracting agreement for your associate dentist. If you need an attorney to work with, just text attorney to 215-798-9897. But here are my 4 take-home tips for onboarding your associate dentist. 1, create an engaged observation program. I've had the opportunity to meet some fantastic dentists, course trained, spear trained. They've taken all kinds of programs. And then I get it. They hire an associate dentist. They think they're a dentist. Do they have to observe me? The answer, longer than you think. And it has more to do with communication skills than it does clinical skills, but it has to do with both. So I would recommend an engaged observation program where you're paying the associate some type of daily rate because the practice owner has developed their own culture. And do not expect the associate to be able to read your mind. Do not expect the associate to be able to read your mind. From seating the patient to walking them out to how you give an injection, it doesn't mean they have to be a carbon copy. Are there such things as carbon copies anymore? I don't know. Faxes, do people even fax anymore? But it doesn't mean they have to be a clone of you, but they have to get your culture. That's the word. Your associate dentist doesn't have to be a clone of you, but they have to understand and embrace your culture. This matters with your team as well. So this engaged observation program is clinical communication, conflict resolution skills. That may be 3 days long. It could be 3 weeks long. Could be 3 days long. Could be 3 weeks long. I think it would be really nice if I was working with you, and think of you going to work somewhere else. If you spent a week with your associate dentist in an engaged observation program and say, hey, I'm going to pay you a daily rate. I want you to be set up for success. I want you to the team to have your back. That's number 1. 2, layups and 5-yard passes for the first procedures for your associates. So it doesn't matter if your associate dentist has done 47 full mouth rehabs. It's unlikely that that's going to be the case, but pick layups, straightforward restorative care, doing simple things like restoring a single tooth implant on a patient that opens like an alligator, and make those patients feel honored. Here's one of my Nacho talking tips. So let's say that you're checking a hygiene patient and they got a crown on number 20 and you go, this would be perfect for my associate dentist when they start seeing patients. We'll look at that patient, we'll call him Jim, and say something like, Jim, I do not want to deprive other dentists of the joy of helping you with your teeth, treating your teeth. I work with an amazing dentist. You don't have to call them the new associate. If that slips out at some times, it's not the end of the world. We are collaborating with more dentists here so we can do more for you. We're collaborating with more dentists here so we can do more for you, so we can have more hours, more flexibility, always the benefits. And this crown that you have here on the lower left, I would be honored for the dentist here that we're collaborating with to do this crown on you. And here's the thing you have to say. Here's the thing you have to say, and you have to believe it. I would be glad to have Dr. Smith, that's the associate, do this crown on me. Point to your own mouth, charades. I would be glad to have Dr. Smith do this crown on me. That's why it's a layup, guys. Crown on number 20, occlusal resins. Get them started with simple stuff. Make the patients feel special. The patients have major pushback. I say to the patients, hey, I value your opinion so much. If you would have Dr. Smith complete this care for you, here's my personal cell. Please tell me what happens afterwards, whether it's a compliment or a concern. I trust you. They feel good about that. But this is why you onboard. This is why you train. This is why they do the engaged observation program. When the associate starts working, here's a suggestion. Some of you may freak out. Some of you may think this is fun. Don't schedule your own patients. Just check hygiene and be available to help for the first 3 days of associate patient care. Let's say the associate's working Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Production, you can fit it in later. Say to the associate, I got your back. I'm going to check hygiene today. And I just want to make sure everything goes great. We got assistants here. We got front desk team members here. I want to have enough time to give insight and feedback, show you what's going awesome, show what we can make shifts on. So I would suggest not scheduling your own patients, just checking hygiene for those days. And then the fourth part is just make sure your systems with your team and you have clear training manuals, PowerPoints, keynotes, manuals, stuff that the associate can take with them, videos. Work hard with your team. I mean, if you're listening to this and your associate's starting in 30 days, your associate's starting in 60 days, start to take videos, start to put stuff into PowerPoints and keynotes and emails and training manuals. Being a dentist in a practice, everyone, it's so complex. We're doing full contact arts and crafts on patients and people that do not want to be there or pay for it. So my hope is you've taken some of these tips and you can incorporate them into your journey, no matter where you are in the process. If I can help you in any way, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@dentalnachos.com. If you want to see how we help, visit dentistjobconnect.com. If you're looking for case acceptance help for your team and for you, just text CASE to 215-798-9897. And I'm not sure if anyone's going to make it to this point, but if you did make it to this point, you get a special bonus. So if you're here, you get a special bonus. If you're still listening, you're about to finish up on the treadmill, or you're driving to work and listening to this, if you text HUDDLE to 215-798-9897, text HUDDLE to 215-798-9897, I will send you a free copy of our morning huddle checklist. Thanks so much for listening in. I hope I get to hear from you. If I can help you do anything in your dentisting life to make it more fun and less frustrating, please let me know.